Recognizing the power of relationship.
Understand that relationships are like vehicles through which things enters and leave your life, but they really do not understand how to unlock the power of relationships. And that's the basic thing that's the basic thing I want to discuss with you today. Now, when David came to the battlefield, and David was showing interest that he want to take up the giant in the person of Goliath, the brother of Joseph, Eliab, said, I know you. You are a very stubborn person, and you don't really want to stay where they put you. That is the impression of Eliab about David. But when David started explaining what he has done in time past with the sheep and with the lion, how he actually took on he actually took on the lion and prevented the lion from devouring the sheep, and how he also took up the bear and actually overcome the bear and prevented the bear from eating the sheep. When he started explaining that to Saul, Saul knew that there is more to David than just being a shepherd boy. But the maximum thing that Eliab saw about David is surprising you. The maximum thing that Eliab saw about David was a shepherd boy. You cannot unlock the power of relationship around you when you just know people according to their names. God has planted people in your environment, but you might just be relating to them on a facial level. You see your friend Shegun, you see your friend Abraham, and everything you know about them is Shegun and Abraham. You see them on a facial level. You see your friend, your colleagues, this is my classmate, this is my colleague, and just see them at that level. That is the same level Eliab saw David, and that explains why he could not draw the best out of the relation between himself and David. But when David had that deep conversation with Saul, Saul knew that this man had the potency of becoming a champion. So what I'm explaining to you today is this: God has positioned some people around in your environment. There are more to those people. Apostle Paul said, we no longer see people after the flesh. Jesus asked Peter, who do men say that I am? And some said, you are prophet, you are Jeremiah. They called him at the facial level. But Peter said, we know you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Which basically means that he saw Jesus in the true light. And Jesus said, you shall be the rock. Jesus transferred the most important component of the next assignment to him because he was able to see Jesus in the true light. The reason your assignment with your friends, with the association around you, has not been able to unlock the fullness of his potential is that you are just seeing them by their names. You see Shegun as Shegun, you see Abraham as Abraham, but you have not really seen them in the core of their purpose. And that is the reason you have not been able to unlock the power of that relationship. So as soon as Peter said you are Christ, the Son of the living God, Christ transferred the core of the next assignment about the church onto him. So you have to understand this. My friend, one of my very close friends, we have been friends since primary 6. I have known him by name. But one day I was praying and it dawned on me that this guy is a marketer. When I relate with him now, I don't just relate with him that he's my friend, this is his name. I relate with him on marketing projects. So when people actually call me and they want me to do some consulting for them on marketing, I ask him for his opinion. I no longer see him according to the flesh. I see him in the core of his purpose. My friend who has this particular studio I use for my podcast, I've always seen him since the day we met in 2004. I've always seen him as a person that has ability to make things happen. Whether in many projects, of recent, some young guys that were into music had a conversation with him, and they were finding it difficult to jumpstart their live performances, and he made it happen. Those guys started just seeing him in that light. But I've always known him since 2004 when I had the first conversation with him that this guy has the ability to make things happen. My my younger brother, one of the person I knows that his words of thought are very heavy is my younger brother. And today, his discipline, I'm not surprised that he actually find himself in that discipline. So my friends and my brother, when I relate with them, I do not just relate with them at a facial level. I have been able to unlock so many things out of that relationship. The reason is that I've been able to see them in the core of their purpose. So fundamentally, you need to recognize relationship. And when we say you need to recognize relationship, you need to see people that God has placed in your environment in the core of their purpose. It is when you do this, then you will truly understand what it means that relationship is like a vehicle through which things enters and live your life. So when Laban, the husband of Abigail, had an interaction with David, he pictured David as a miscreant, as somebody that is not going nowhere. But his wife Abigail saw David in the new light, in the light of what David actually is. And when Abigail went to plead on behalf of her husband to David, she said, "We know that you are the next king." And that was what unlocked the power of relationship between Abigail and David. One saw David as a miscreant, as a non-entity. The other saw David as a person that was going to be the next king of Israel, the champion. And that was the difference between this one having access to the power of those relationships and the other person not having access. So I'm explaining to you today that the gap between you and your dreams, the bridge between them, most often than not, are found in relationship. And these are the relations that are already existing around you. These are the relations that are already existing around you. But you need to look at these people and you begin to see them in the core of their purpose. Even the people you work with, beyond them being your employer, some of them are your mentors. They don't need to talk to you. By observing them, you can learn a lot. But if you are like that servant that the Lord gave 1 talent, and the servant said to his Lord, "I know you. You are a wicked man, and you want to sow where you have not reaped," you will not be able to learn the vital lesson that can fast track your own progress from them. Whosoever you are working with today, there are people that can teach you deep things. But if you just see them that this is the guy that is paying my salary and is just using me, it may be difficult for you to actually learn some vital lessons from them, that you can deploy such lessons into your life and it can fast track the progress that you are going to get. So understand that relationship at different levels, whether relationship among friends, relationship amongst colleagues, relationship between an employer and an employee, the core of this relationship goes beyond the first stage, which is the primary stage. Most of them should end up in things that can fast track your progress. As I've said repeatedly, it is through relationship that things can easily enter and live your life. And if what is going to be entering your life is going to be more than the first thing that it should be, that you are going to move beyond salary, getting salary from your employer, to them opening bigger doors of opportunities to you, is going to come from the fact that you have been able to see them in the core of their purpose. So you listen differently from the way every other person is listening. I hope what I've shared today is going to go a long way in order to help you. So we continue from here some other time. All right.